Have you ever looked into a kid's eyes and seen a story that breaks your heart? I'm not your typical teacher. I don't stand in front of a chalkboard or grade papers. Instead, I'm an educational backpacking guide for elementary school kids. My classroom is the woods, the trails, the open sky. I take groups of hand-picked kids, 4th and 5th graders mostly, on outdoor adventures to teach them about nature, teamwork, and maybe a bit about themselves. It's a killer program, don't get me wrong. We hike, set up camp, learn to read maps, and talk about the world. But the kids I get, they're not just here for fun. They're tough, carrying baggage most adults couldn't handle. I'm Daniel, by the way, and these are my kids' stories, or at least some of them. It's a crisp fall morning, and we're out on a trail in the Pacific Northwest. The air smells like pine and damp earth, and the kids are buzzing with energy, their boots crunching on the gravel path. I've got a group of 10 this time, all between 9 and 11 years old. They're a mix of loudmouths, quiet ones, and kids who look like they've seen too much already. My job is to keep them safe, teach them how to pitch a tent, and maybe help them forget whatever's waiting for them back home. But sometimes their stories come spilling out, and there's no way to unhear them. Take Sophia, for example. She's a tiny 4th grader with braids and a smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. We're sitting around the campfire one night, roasting marshmallows when she starts talking. Not about the stars or the Esmores, but about how she tried to hang herself 3 times. She says it so casually, like she's telling me about her favorite cartoon. The other kids go quiet, and I feel my stomach twist. I ask her why, gently, because you don't push a kid like Sophia too hard. She shrugs and says, sometimes it just feels like too much. She's 10 years old, and she's already carrying that kind of weight. Later, I report it to the program coordinator, and we get her counselor involved. But that night, I just sit with her, letting her talk about the knot she learned to tie. Not for rope swings, but for something darker. Then there's Michael, a 5th grader with a temper and a loud laugh that hides a lot. We're hiking one day, and he's lagging behind, kicking rocks like they owe him money. I fall back to check on him, and he tells me about his mom. Not some heartwarming story, but how he had to lock her out of the house last month to protect his little sister. His mom was high, screaming, throwing things. Michael, all of 11, had to shove a chair under the doorknob and hold his sister while she cried. He tells me this with his jaw tight, like he's daring me to pity him. I don't. I just nod and say, that's a lot for a kid to handle. He shrugs and keeps walking, but later he sticks close to me on the trail like he's decided I'm okay. And then there's Chloe. She's another 4th grader, all energy and chatter, but there's something off about her. On day 2 of the trip, she's whispering to a couple of other kids, describing things no 9-year-old should know about. Sexual stuff, in graphic detail, like she's reciting a script. I overhear her trying to get another kid to act it out behind a tree. My blood runs cold. I pull her aside, keep my voice calm, and ask where she learned this stuff. She clams up, but her eyes say enough. Fear, shame, something deeper. I report it immediately, and the program gets her caseworker involved. Turns out, Chloe's been through things no kid should. I keep an eye on her for the rest of the trip, making sure she feels safe but doesn't cross lines with the others. The hardest one, though, is Liam. He's a wiry kid with scars that tell stories he shouldn't have to live. We're setting up tents one afternoon when he rolls up his sleeve, and I see a thick, jagged scar on his arm. Deep and old, like someone took a knife to him. I ask about it, casual as I can, and he says, my mom. Just like that. No tears, no drama. He tells me she beats him, has for years. The scars are proof, and not just the one on his arm. There's a burn mark on his neck, too, and a faded bruise on his cheek. I tell him we need to call CPS, and he loses it. Screams at me. Don't you dare. They'll take me away, and I'll never see my brother again. His voice cracks, and I see the panic in his eyes. I back off, but I know I can't ignore it. I make the call later, quietly, because it's my job to keep him safe, even if he hates me for it. These kids, man, they're tough as hell. They've seen things